Hello everybody and welcome to, I must say, probably the most important show that you are going to watch here at TVSN. Peter Mason with a gripping, a compelling show that will highlight the massive impact that the indoor air quality is having on your health. Every year, according to the World Health Organization, 1.6 million people are dying from the poor air quality. In fact, that's one person every 22nd. Diseases like brain disease, cardiovascular disease, and of course gripping the planet right now, we are talking about the air that we breathe. We take about 20,000 breaths per minute in our home, and the statistics are absolutely frightening. And of course, the indoor air quality, 5 times worse than the air that you're going to be breathing outdoors. We have brand new research. So please stick around. It's a compelling show. It is all about your health, but it's all about the air that you're breathing in your home. And our very special guest, Rick, is here to join us. Very big welcome, Rick.
Thanks very much. Good to see you again.
Thank you. And it's an amazing show. Brand new scientific evidence now that we didn't actually know about even when we launched this brand new promotion that has just come to air and just come to light, which we will cover throughout this show.
It's the new science of small particle pollution poisoning. And it's affecting all of us. It's cumulative, and over the span of a number of years, it is destroying our lives. And we are only now just starting to appreciate what the damage is that we are doing to our bodies.
And we have got brand new science, brand new vision to be able to take you from a point where you may have seen organics before, but I tell you right now, this show is going to change the way that you've thought about the air that you breathe within your home. Let's take you straight to this brand new vision because it will change the way that you look at the air inside your home.
City workers spend up to 90% of their time indoors, much of it in glassed-in, air-conditioned buildings. Virtual biospheres populated by hundreds, sometimes thousands of employees, all breathing air sucked in from the city below. This is a plant room of a typical air-conditioned office building. Now, outside air is sucked into this filtration system, and these filters are the only thing that stand between any pollution outside and the air pumped indoors. Professor Lydia Morawska tested the air in a city office building to see if the filters really did block out external pollution, especially the ultra-fine particles from car exhausts.
Those particles, being very small, very light, can follow the airflow deep into our lung.
An ultrafine particle is less than 1/10 of a micron. If you picture a millimetre, that's equal to 1,000 microns. Now, we have health guidelines for pollution from fine particles between 2.5 and 0.1 of a micron, but none for ultrafine particles less than 0.1 of a micron. That's small enough to go through the lungs into the bloodstream and be transported around the body where it can cause serious harm.
There are good evidence of cardiovascular disease, damage to the heart, also cerebrovascular disease, damage to the brain.
It's been known for some time that ultrafine particles from vehicle exhausts are harmful. So when Lydia's team found high concentrations indoors, they were extremely concerned.
What we found was that at times concentration inside was up to 5 times higher than concentration outside.
So how could that be? Perhaps if the particles were emitted within the office and air was constantly recycled, their levels would build up.
And those levels building up within the office environment, Rick, is absolutely frightening, but what is happening in the home?
It's the same in the home. In fact, in the home, it's potentially worse because we've closed ourselves in. We are recirculating the air daily, either via heaters. We've got the winter time coming on right now. We've got heaters, we've got wood fire burners, we've got all sorts of electrical types of heaters, and all of these things are contributing to increasing the small particulate count in the home. You open the door to the garage, the carbon monoxide fumes from your car come straight into your home. You open the door to the front of the house, you go out on the street, and we'll look at later what happens with pollution on the street levels and how that affects us in our daily lives.
And the frightening evidence, of course, you've just seen in office areas. Let's go and talk about inside your home and talk about bacteria that are moving around. Of course, coming into winter, it is going to be frightening. It's going to be one of those times where flus are alive and well. And listen to this.
It's always been thought that colds and flus were transmitted by large droplets. But this new evidence suggests those droplets evaporate, leaving behind fine particles left hanging in the air.
So if someone sneezes on level 3, it comes out on level 5, level 7, level 9.
It doesn't matter what level you are in an office building, but your home may be 1 or 2 levels. These are bacteria that are flying around your home and 5 times more at risk in your home. It's pretty serious.
And let's remember that what they just said then was that we thought they were being transmitted on water droplets. But the water droplets have evaporated, and what you're left with is the bacteria, the virus, and the ultra-fine particles that we're breathing in. And that is what's causing us the damage. And the thing that's really crucial here is it's cumulative. It grows in your system over many, many years of exposure. And we don't know today what this new science is going to find for us. So we should all be taking the precautions necessary to improve the quality of our life and our health in our home.
And the news is only really getting on to what's happening indoors. We've all been looking at the pollutants outdoors for how many years, and the effects, of course, with the breakdown of the ozone layer. We've forgotten about the indoor area. How much time do we spend in home? 70–80% of our lives inside the home.
Absolutely. And in the home, in the office, in the workplace, in a club, wherever you might be, the time that we spend inside is absolutely, and can be as much as nearly 90% of our time, even more than 70–80 you just mentioned. 90% of our time inside is quite amazing.
Well, let's go and measure. Let's actually move to our doctor and professor who is actually looking at the air indoors, and we're going to prove to you now exactly how bad it is.
Hi, my name is Rob Hooper. I'm from Crisp Air. We've been invited along this afternoon to prove what Airganics actually does in the marketplace. My company, Crisp Air, is a manufacturer of refrigeration and air conditioning systems for the transport industry. And as such, we were looking for methods by which we can clean up air in refrigerated truck bodies, because they have a real stench after carrying certain meats. And secondly, we do a lot of work in the ambulance sector, and you must bring the temperature in an ambulance down very quickly, and as such you cannot bring in outside air. Therefore it is critical that the air that you are recycling within there is brought down rather quickly. And to do that, we were looking for methods that would clean the air up, and that's how we first met with Airganics. And they work in the domestic market, and we work in the commercial market, and work quite well together. In a commercial environment, we use our laboratory terminal to test air to see as to its quality. And if it's the quality of air, which we know is generally not good, we have methods by which we can improve it, and that is using the commercial side or bigger industrial versions of what Airganics use in the domestic and home market. This laboratory terminal breaks predominantly into 2 different sectors. One is human comfort, and one is the one that you don't really know about. The human comfort levels being humidity, being temperature, and being the CO and CO2 components that's in the air. The CO and CO2 are the ones where you feel stuffy and uncomfortable. The other side of it that you don't understand is the small particulates, which are particulates in the air that are under 2.5 microns, the larger particulates, which are under 10 microns, and TVOCs. TVOCs meaning total volatile organic compounds. Now these are the glues and gases that leach out of furniture and carpets, and can be reasonably harmless. It's also the odour you get when you buy a new car that everyone likes, so that's a TVOC. Now these TVOCs really come from ketones. That's the odour that you get, and some are reasonably harmless, but some may not be. Now, but these are the reasons why you end up with itchy eyes, runny noses, and sore throats.
And Rick, these ultra-fine particles we cannot see. We don't see them in the car, we don't see them in the home, we don't see them in the office. And Dr. Hooper, Rob Hooper, in fact, now is going to obviously take that machine, which when they're using that in a commercial environment is amazing. But a great first test that we've now done with Airganics to take them into the home to really see the difference inside your home.
And that's what we want to see. We want to be able to demonstrate and show that inside the average Australian home there are these problems that we don't know about. And no matter how hard we clean, no matter how hard we are careful about what we do inside the home, these pollutants are there and they're damaging our health.
The ultrafine particles can only be measured, and we want to see exactly what is happening in your home. And these are everyday homes that you're probably in right now. Let's take a little bit more of a look at Dr. Rob Hooper.
What I'm going to show you this afternoon is how our laboratory terminal works in conjunction with the Airganics to prove that what it actually does is take the large and small particulates as well as the TVOCs out of the air back to a comfortable level. This is an example of a cubic foot. The reason we're showing it to you is that is the way that things are measured in America, and as the terminal does come from America, we are showing this as an example only. We're sitting in a typical home of an afternoon, and what we find on the laboratory monitor is that we have a small particulate count well in excess of what is acceptable by the Environmental Protection Association and the World Health Organization. This home in small particulates is over 300,000 micrograms per square foot more than acceptable. It is also well over on the large particulates. The most important ones are the small particulates because they go directly past the mucous membranes and straight to the lungs. The TVOC content is also high. That's the total volatile organic compound is high, and that can lead to headache and nausea.
And let's demonstrate exactly what's happening. We can see right here that we've got the S part and the I part represent the large particles and small particles. And what we're going to see here now is just a small spraying of an air sprayer. We've gone to 10 million small particles, which is somewhere in the order of 20 times worse than what the World Health determines of what is good quality air.
Wow.
We're now moving, in this scene here, we see 87,000, which is about average, what you should be doing. We're in the kitchen, we're cleaning the bench tops, and you can see we've got spray, we're moving around the kitchen, and the nice thing about this is we will move across, and you can see the different types of products that are used in the kitchen, cleansers, cleaning for dishwashers, etc. All of these things are every day in our everyday lives.
And we think they're good for us.
And we do. And now watch this here. We're now spraying around the laboratory terminal, and what you're going to see is dramatic. We've gone up to 443,000, or 4 times worse than what it should be. The large particle count is even interesting. That's about 6 times worse than what it should be. And the volatile compounds, enormous.
And what is acceptable for human beings?
About 160,000 particles per cubic foot.
This is from the World Health Organization. Now, we're in the bathroom. We always have a splash of deodorants.
This shocked us more than anything else. We go in every day, we spray deodorant, we spray perfume, we clean ourselves up, and we think nothing of it. But watch what happens when we spray. We've got a count here of nearly 6 million particles, which again is about 20 or 30 times worse, and we're going to breathe that in. And now, these are ultra fine particles. They're less than 2.5 microns. We have to remember what we're talking about here.
Now, this is outside. We're out in the yard.
We took these measurements. Dr. Hooper took these measurements outside in the yard, and you can see, when you see the reading here right now, 86,000. That's way below the World Health recommendation for air quality, which means the outdoor air there is great. We're in the backyard of someone's home. They're breathing healthy, clean, oxygenated air. It feels great. It's the sort of air that we want to breathe. And this is what we should be having in our home. And if we look at the scale here again, large particles very small, volatile compounds almost non-existent, and this is what normal air should be like. This is what we should be breathing.
This is frightening, and you think you close your doors and you think that you're safe from this. You are absolutely not. And I repeat again, every year indoor air pollution is responsible for 1.6 million deaths globally.
That's right. Now look at this. We're in a typical Sydney suburb. We're walking down the street. Rob Hooper has got his device. What we're now going to look at is what happens on a busy suburban street. Outside a coffee shop, people are sitting having coffee, buying their takeaway foods. He's found a spot, traffic going by. Just think of what it would be like if you're sitting out there having a coffee, riding a bike. Oh! 280,000. You know, double what it should be.
Double.
Outdoor air.
And we all eat outdoors.
And this is outdoor air. So we are breathing these pollutants in when we are outside.